Xin Shao, fuckos. It is I, Philip, poet deviant and sexual laureate. I've taken a brief respite from my travails to come here to the past and introduce this here episode of all of a sudden, but tenuously. The name escapes me. The scene of the show will take a slight digression from the normative, my former writing menagerie, something or other. We'll write shorter, less cohesive scripts in the interest of reducing wait times between each episode. An attempt to make the most limited time they have available with my past self before IE set off for our tour of sunny Vietnam, a trip chronicled in my book, Vanilla Slice of Life, Vietnam, Japan. Thank you, ma'am. Vietnam. I remember it fondly. Walking along the river Pokey with my true compatriots, stalwart men, real creatives, before settling in a small fishing hamlet wherein lavish, majestic young native boys danced for us under moonlight in exchange for whatever morsels of food we were willing to callously chuck towards their open mouths. Blissful. But I digress there. Unfortunately, I cannot stay with you, for I must dash. I'm attending a roof boat party with a few friends of mine, painters. They're planning on using my exquisite form as a canvas for an art project tenuously titled The Suppleness of Musculature. But I shan't leave without blessing you with a soup con of my talents. A gift unto you, a haiku I wrote atop a mountaintop whose name I could not pronounce, and flatly refused to, much to my Sherpa's chagrin. Heed this haiku's advice, Pastville. It shall serve you well. Noodles not veg. Be wary of tuk-tuk drivers. Eat a citrus, pleb. Oh, candelabra, potpourri, wait for me. I have some exotic meats for us to partake.
I have so many questions.
Wow. Well done, Philip.
You need to give context for that.
No, we're done.
No.
I think we're done for the night.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good script.
We remembered that the intro was a thing about 4 hours ago. Yola said, tonight Barry's on a mission. Oh, I only wrote it about an hour ago. That's what you wrote.
What a mental.
Oh, I need to do something quick and on the fly.
I was having a right chuckle at some of them, and I was literally like laughing my head off because like I knew it was bonkers and I knew it was so difficult to read. I just remember going like, poor Phil's gonna have to like quickly pronounce menagerie, and also I had like script directions in there for him to look away.
Well, the last one, look away and then read something.
And then read something that you've not read. I thought of that and I went, fuck it, he's gonna have to do it.
I'm going to need a third monitor for this.
Oh god, I know.
Oh, that was funny, mate. Good job. Mad bastard.
Absolute madness.
Menagerie. The hardest one was digress.
No, it was I digressy high is what you were meant to say. It was just like it was meant to be I digress, but then what I did was I wrote it and I went back through it and I like replaced words with like more difficult ones.
So you weren't digressing hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candelabra. What do we?
I like the haiku. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Noodles not veg. Is that the recommendation?
No, that's just like
Totally get being wary of tuk-tuk drivers. That's going to be my main threat to life, I would imagine.
oh, 100%. That's what Siege told me. Sijon told me, like, tell him not to ever go in a tuk-tuk. Yeah, so it's welcome back everyone to
Hello.
But Suddenly episode 39.
Probably being sexual warriors also.
I know, I really like that. I really like that line.
Sorry, so the actual task at hand, though.
Yes.
Luke's script this evening,
Luke script, yeah.
which is the start of a new saga, and as we touched on in the intro, because the intro is supposed to form the basis of an actual introduction, we're sort of stripping things down a little bit, aren't we? So
Yeah. We're trying to make the most of Phil is going traveling in January. So to make things quicker and easier for us to do, we're going to sort of essentially throw away the concept that each of us writes an individual episode. And instead, we're just going to write 15 pages, no matter where you end up. And it's just going to be a bit more stream of consciousness like the first season was, but starting off with Luke's theme.
before we got serious.
Before we got serious. Yeah.
Sorry.
Before we became famous.
Well, the money got to us.
Yeah. After the sponsorship deals, it's just like 40%
Yeah,
Gillette now, isn't it?
yeah.
Harry's razors and
Manscaped.
landscaping. Because look at us all.
But yeah, so this one's going to be like a quicker one, and like what I very loosely mathed out is with the amount of weeks we have left. Like notwithstanding that, like some of them might be missed still. We could get like a movie-sized script out of it if we all each do 15 pages, essentially, because it'll be like I think an hour, maybe a bit more. If we do it every week and just like keep doing it and do another loop, then we'll have like maybe an hour and a half of Luke script the movie. So it might be fun. But knowing us, it's going to deviate so far that it'll never be a movie.
Time travel.
I'm ready for it. I'm not putting a cap on
I
myself.
hope that we all just quickly lean into the tropes that we established in the Spy Saga. See episodes 33 to 38 for details.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. So Luke, how did you find it?
Really fun. It was a really nice process. I had the story in mind for a long time. Funnily, actually, this is loosely based off what I actually submitted for my English writing dissertation in university.
Nice.
Loosely based off it. Yeah.
I was thinking about this not too long ago, actually, because it's technically like not the first sci-fi script that you like suggested to us, because we had that in the first season. We had that like
Star Trekky one.
Yeah, Star Trekky one that you like sort of like we leapt into out of nowhere. Do you remember what was the name?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the context was at all.
No, I remember the fish people.
It's like
Actual
TV
tilt.
on
Yeah, actual tilt. Yeah.
which may or may not be making a comeback.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this writing process. I wrote quite a bit more, but to be honest, it probably could have done with it. I'm glad that I got the opportunity to shorten it down. I got just shy of 26 full pages, but it was a lot of it was unnecessary and because obviously I'm starting something new and it's a sci-fi, there's a danger of doing too much exposition, and I really struggled with that. And you'll see that there's still quite a lot there because obviously with a sci-fi script, the sci-fi world, there are things that obviously distinguish it from anything else, really. Similarly, if you wrote any kind of if you wrote a cyberpunk story or a solarpunk story, there'd be distinguishing features that you wanted to touch on, and I wanted to write a world that was familiar but not intrinsically unique to the genre in any real way, shape, or form. I've not tried to do anything terribly different, but the idea is that obviously I want to tell a story within that. It's like Star Wars. I don't want to hear about the Jedi. I want to hear about just basic gritty stories, really, I suppose. And I don't necessarily think I've written gritty. Definitely not written gritty. I wouldn't know how to write gritty, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed writing it. And the danger was that as soon as I put fingers to keyboard, I started writing for people, which was really weird. Like, what would someone say? What would Phil say in this situation? What would Burge if this was them? And it's come together interestingly. I have roles to dole out because I did not write once I'd written the script, I was like, I haven't assigned anything, and I didn't want to go back and type everything out. So for the sake of brevity, Yolo, you will be playing the role of Greg.
Okay.
Bill, you will be playing the role of Sato. Japanese name, normal accent, nothing silly, Billy. Callback.
Phil's just
Yeah. You will be playing the role of K11. And Burge, yes, and Burge, you will be playing all else except for Borad, which is me.
second. It does that get
for an accent that I've been playing.
robot name, robot accent.
Pardon?
Robot name, robot accent. Fredham. Or...
K11 has a Japanese accent.
Plenty of I've written that.
Sorry, Luke, I missed that. You said something probably insightful and I completely talked over it. I apologize.
Be insightful. I think we've got someone confused.
You did make a funny joke there, though, so it's worth it.
Adam, yeah, you're playing K11 versus everyone else. I'm Borat. Not Borat, Borat.
What sort of voice did you want from Adam?
Yeah, I think
Stage directions included.
Okay, right, fine.
Cool. Excellent.
Excellent. What's it?
Should we jump into it then?
So,
Luke Williams, give me a sound.
Very like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Go for it.
Ballers, written by Luke Williams, PDF by Philip Roberts. Exterior, space. In the vast nothingness of the void between hither and yon lies the Asteron planet cracking facility, a monolithic space terminal serving as both distribution point and refinery for the planet below, a way station for the Happy House mining corps and its myriad of workers all toiling amidst the industrial face of progress. The axial tilt sways into view. A pedestrian-grade hauler rigged to transport treated iron and nickel to nearby star systems. The ship looks worn. On first glance, it looks like it may have been caught in a dogfight, a personal feud come to a head, or perhaps it came off the worst from an encounter with the Highway Boys, privateers known for extortion and pillaging smaller training fleets across this sector. Yet, I don't know why, but yet. We pan around the hull, past the rotating zero-drive engines as they emit their familiar pale blue and what is now clearly the rusty ebb of time and focusing on the cockpit where two near silhouettes seem to be swinging their arms around vigorously. There is a spark. Interior, the axial tilt cockpit. A portly man with long hair and patchy stubble in his 40s stands with a stack of papers in his hands and a mop in the other.
No, I am your father!
The man lifts his leg, resting on the partly torn leather seat in front of him. Sat in the adjoining flight chair is a cold bronze robot with cobalt trimmings and a screen in place of a traditional facial features with a green 8-bit shocked face. Sparks fly from his stomach.
Yes, exactly that amount of sparks.
Hey, Cap.
No, that's not true. That's impossible.
A red warning light flicks on, followed by a dull whir among the massive small lights and switches of the brown liquid-stained console.
Dread Vader powers up his lightsaber and runs Bluke through the chest. Yes! Victory!
Greg thrusts forward with his wooden mop, just missing the robot and hitting the console and knocking several buttons.
Oops. What's an oops-like sound?
I don't know. You show me.
No. How now will I ever rebel against the Empire and cause mass death and untold chaos? How?
Nailed it, Kay. Really, so much better this time.
Sparks stop. K11 stands tall, his head almost touching the stained white cushioning that encircles and fills the spaces where there's no console in the cabin.
Very impressive. The delivery of a young Beltran sun score with the presence of an Iman Tropentor. Marvelous.
Greg smiles a gigantic smile and sits back into his chair, extremely pleased with himself. Suddenly, the doors hiss and open as a thick steam pierces the relative calm of the cabin. Greg and K11 exchange worried glances. The assault of steam worsens as Greg shrinks into his moth-bitten black turtleneck sweater and pulls down his bobbled red beanie. The silhouette of a man emerges with speed from the mist, brandishing a wrench. Greg jumps in fear.
Ah!
Hello, Sato.
Sato.
Sato, sorry.
It's Japanese name.
Obviously.
The man has short black hair and wears a dirt and oil-stained white vest with an orange jumpsuit tied by the arms around his waist. He takes the wrench and swings it upwards, clamps it on the valve and begins tightening. As he does, the steam pressure lowers and smog begins to dissipate.
Where were you both? I've been concentrating.
Wow.
Sorry.
This is the guy going to Vietnam, guys.
Just wanted to spit it with the language. Where were you both? I've been correct. That's edit point.
No, that's the focal point.
Through your teeth, Phil. Say it through your teeth.
That's a YouTube show I've ever seen.
We go viral for all the wrong reasons. Where were you both? I've been calling.
Greg turned off the radio.
Kay!
No, you're highbrow British now. The robot voice was his fake voice. He's highbrow British.
Oh, right, okay. Don't think I was clear in the writing, but... right, okay. So his normal voice is that right? Okay. I wish I chose a different voice. Greg turned off the radio.
Kay! But in fairness, I don't like the buzzing.
Sato looks furious.
Get it fixed. I swear, this is the third time today you've not answered when I needed you. I have to do everything around here. It's a joke. When you hired me, the ad said light maintenance.
Technically speaking,
It's light maintenance when the job is split between the 4 posts you said we were going to fill.
And I absolutely intend...
Between the occasional spacewalk in the suit you don't actually fit into anymore, I really can't see the value bringing you to this crew. I'm the engineer, the cleaner,
I mean, he does own the ship.
He inherited the ship, Kay. And why are you getting involved today?
Greg pouts and bats his eyelids.
Well, it is young Master Gregory's birthday, after all.
Sato pauses his tirade, lets out an acknowledging sigh of defeat and stares at Greg.
Happy birthday.
Sato turns to walk away.
Oh, turn the proximity sensor off. We're here.
Okay, time to clean up, dearies. We have to have our best faces on.
The screen where K11's face would be shows a winky face with a smile giving a thumbs up. Exterior, space station, Asteron planet cracking facility. The axial tilt slowly lurches towards the immense station, embedded in an asteroid and is dwarfed by its enormity. The station emanates a reddish hue from a layer of carbon molecules from the nebula whose edge the system resides in. Multitudes of ships are docked at the bustling facility. The larger freighters take up most of the platforms and docking zones, many returning to pick up materials cracked from the planet. One of such freighters passes by the tilt, and Greg's face can be seen squashed against the window of the cabin, marveling at its sheer size. The axial tilt slows as it reaches a spot with several other similar-sized ships that are stationary, waiting for their turn to dock. Against the solid rock wall of the outer surface of the asteroid, a single hatch begins to flash green lights. Interior axial tilt cockpit.
Okay, go, 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 go.
But it's not our turn.
Go, 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 go.
Greg, if we patient... Is that patient?
Yeah, sorry.
Greg, if we patient...
Greg pushes K11 from the back, forcing him to lean into the gyroscopic steering.
This is wildly inappropriate, Gregory.
You'll be fine.
Exterior, space, Asteron planet cracking facility. The axial tilt shifts into the forward position, and the docking tube extends from underneath the bridge at an angle. The ship whose turn it actually was stops just in time before colliding with the tilt, only to be rear-ended by the one behind it. Electrical sparks wash over the impact point, and the ship rights itself. Interior, Asteron facility docking bay. Greg, K11, and Sato emerge from the docking doors. Sato now wearing a clean set of engineering overalls. He's composed and moves with purpose, while Greg, in the same clothes as before, now with a bit of tummy showing, is dancing as they pass the threshold.
I love space. Space is cool. Anything's better than...
Greg stops mid-bar. He looks outwards, his mouth agape and eyes full of wonder.
Oh, I love this job.
In the front of the trio is a hulking space in the middle of the asteroid. Machines of wondrous shape and variety line and occupy the varying spaces, manned by relevant personnel sat at consoles. Heavy loaders drive back and forth, lifting hefty, substantial payloads in Durasteel containers. The majority of the people visible are human or robot, with the odd Zarbik in uniform tapping away at screens, and a few Gorals at the helm of some of the contraptions, controlling the flow of the gigantic glass transport tubing that passes through each corner of the room. A short Zarbik waddles towards them, holding a spray screen.
Remember, let me talk and it'll be much smoother.
You
Wildly inappropriate, gentlemen. Wildly inappropriate.
My words exactly, good Dockmaster.
This is your second warning, Greg.
I'm so sorry, but we just need to get this unloaded super quick, and then I've got a cheeky meeting with Borad.
Greg gives a tiny smirk with widened eyes and looks side to side, expecting someone to be impressed. Sato sighs and steps in.
Anjanito, my friend, my sincerest apologies for Greg. You see, it's a matter of some urgency we meet with him, and the quicker we can unload, the quicker we can be on our way.
The dockmaster squints all four of his eyes, pausing for an awkwardly long minute while remaining completely still as Greg bods his neck side to side, checking if he's still alive.
This is the same guy, right?
Just put his name in.
Fine, but only this time. And you'll be liable for the damages outside.
Sato eyeballs Greg, who mouths, Sorry.
We accept these terms.
The dockmaster lifts his spray screen, presses a few hanging buttons, and a holographic contract appears, stabilized to the screen.
Sign here.
Sato signs the document with his finger and draws a small diamond shape with a line through it next to his name.
As per contractual obligations, this will be reflected in your...
Yes, my friend, I am more than used to suffering my colleagues' mistakes.
The dockmaster shuffles away and past them.
Have a fantastic day, sir.
Right, let's drop the cargo and get on with it.
The three of them walk over to one of the many long lines of people waiting to be seen by people sat behind consoles. Eventually they are seen. Greg hands over his ship chip, and the operator inserts it into a machine. Exterior space, the Asteron planet cracking facility. The axial tilt sits inert among the fleet of ships waiting to drop off or pick up. From within the outer shell of the asteroid, what appears to be hundreds of large metallic cubes steer towards the rear of the ship and past the sleeping engine, where a large chrome orb of metal is retrieved from the cargo doors of the ship. The cubes coalesce into a hollow semi-sphere that covers the back of the orb and pushes it upwards along the station. Interior Asteron facility docking bay. Greg, Sato, and K-11 walk across the concourse. Greg tucks his ship chip into his hat while weaving in and out of important-looking people and moves towards a doorless turbo lift. Sato presses a small circle embedded in the wall of the tube, and a holographic face of a Goral woman appears beside them.
Floor.
8.
100.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 8. Look, I wrote it down on a bombard wrapper.
Greg brandishes the creased and folded wrapper and looks at it closely.
Yeah, see, 8.
I believe that's chocolate, sir.
Greg licks the wrapper.
Oh, yeah. 100 it is then.
Sato rolls his eyes, seething.
Floor 100 is restricted.
Sato looks both confused and panicked.
Ah, this is my time to shine. It's a password-protected one.
Why would Barad send a link saying he's a job for us and not tell us about this?
Oh, no, he did. I just maybe kind of possibly forgot to say because I might have forgotten again.
You are so incompetent.
Actually, sir, Greg did a startlingly accurate portrayal of Dread Vader with all the gusto was...
Someone who can actually come through and do their job?
Velo propita.
The hologram dings and her light changes from a blue to a pale green.
Step in.
The entrance to the tube melts open, slightly peeling back a pale pink light shines from within. They step inside as the door materializes behind them, and immediately the lift shoots upwards. All three of them falter from the jolt and speed as BP elevator music rings through the unseen speakers before coming to a stop within seconds, and the music shuts off as quickly as it began. The exit melts open as before. Interior Asteron facility office space. The door agape. Sato and Greg look queasy as they step out.
Excellent and efficient. I like it.
Yep, gotta love efficiency.
Come now, we're here. Straighten up, and Greg, I prefer not to die, so minimal conversations, small replies.
But you'll step in if I don't know what he's talking about, right?
As always.
They enter another enormous space. A room longer than wide, flanked by what appeared to be various artifacts from throughout the cosmos placed on floating pedestals, all within transparent displays. They walk along through a Thundian rug, giving the appearance and effect of walking through water while not getting wet. The walls are dark and smooth in appearance and seem to absorb the light. What light there is comes from two strips, the full length of the corridor, with a pulsing light running along the floor and ceiling that glow with a shifting liquid-like brilliance, their colours floating like waves of energy, vibrant blues, greens and purples that cascade in rhythmic waves. At the far end of the corridor, framed by these luminous strips, stand immense golden double doors, each one adorned with intricate engravings of alien runes that pulse faintly.
Fucking cool.
Wildly cool.
Just keep your eyes forward. We all know how sketchy this is.
As they walk, Sato notices Greg has strayed off the path. He stands next to a small translucent sphere suspended in the air.
Kay, come look at this.
Kate 11 walks over to Greg.
Oh, eyeball. We can't find those anywhere.
No, this is super rare. I heard about the...
Greg's attention is already further down the hall, tapping on his tiptoes. He excitedly prances towards another artifact, a towering crystalline obelisk that glows with an eerie internal fire, refracting undulating light around it. The crystal hums with energy, vibrating faintly where it stands.
Oh my goodness. Sato, do you know what this is? Kay?
K11 walks over.
Of course I do. It's well, no. Actually, I'm afraid I don't know.
Sato looks on impatiently.
Come on, don't make our host wait.
It's a Pythian control tower. It's not entirely stationary. It's actually caught in a perpetual state of flux. They were used for population control about 60 cycles ago, adjusting for relativity at least.
How neat.
At the base of the golden doors stand two guards in towering mech suits, their forms dark and imposing. The suits are sleek with sharp angular lines and embedded lights that flicker in time with the corridor's pulsing glow. Their helmets featureless and metallic. They stand motionless and silent.
All right, we'll see you now.
Perfect. The doors slowly begin to open as Sato grabs both Greg and K11, dragging them back to the full carpet and prodding them to keep moving.
Watch it, punk.
Okay.
As they walk to the doors, a wave of sound hits them and the humans recoil. Deep thrumming bass lines vibrate through the floor into their chest, layered with high-pitched otherworldly melodies. As they enter, the air is thick, smoky, and incredibly humid, carrying an unknown scent of spices, a metallic tang, and something sweetly decayed. The room is enormous as enormous as the last. Its vaulted ceiling lost in shifting beams of light which pulse in sync with the music. The crowd is a kaleidoscope of alien species, vibing with the chaotic energy of the room. At a table almost immediately in front of them, a group of lizard-like beings with scaly green skin and long, flexible necks tear into chunks of unknown meat from a massive bowl embedded in the centre of their table. One smiles and winks at Greg, who sheepishly blushes and smiles.
This is awesome. Sato, I think he likes me.
That makes one person in this room.
I like you, Greg.
Suddenly, a figure steps into their path, a tall, imposing alien with a head shaped like a hammerhead shark. It nods at Greg, and without a word, it turns and begins weaving through the crowd. They follow. As they walk deeper into the room, many heads turn, giving countless stares. A multi-eyed being swivels its head, unnervingly tracking their movements. A group of beings that resemble humanoid bats hiss and whisper as they go by.
I believe they are sizing us up.
You don't say.
Eventually, the shark-headed alien stops near a secluded corner of the room where they are clearly armed. Where there are clearly armed people with exotic energy weapons. Seated in the shadows at a circular table is a massive, muscular alien in a sleek black suit that seems tailored perfectly to its gargantuan frame. Its skin is a deep metallic blue, as it looks up, the dim light catches the glint of its many needle-like teeth as it smiles. Welcome. His voice is low and rumbling like a localized avalanche. His piercing yellow eyes gleam with amusement. I've been expecting you. Please, won't you sit? Borad clicks his fingers, and a tentacled individual in a similar tailored suit, speedily and precisely, places glasses on the table where Greg, Sato, and K11 sit. In the time between pulling the chairs back and sitting in them, it pours a luminous purple liquid into the glasses.
None for me, thanks.
Before K11 finishes his sentence, the glass is dry and empty before him. Drink up, you're my guests. Sato looks around the room cautiously and then to the drink, then back to Borad, whose face is wide-eyed and smile agape, nodding with intent. Then over to Greg, who has drank both of their glasses already.
Oh my gosh, that was delicious. Any more?
Greg rubs his hands together as both glasses are refilled. Sato leans in, speaking against the music.
Mr. Barrett, sir, we are very grateful for this opportunity.
How's it going, Kate? Been a long time since I've seen you, so lost you to his daddy.
Very well, thank you.
K11 screen smiles as it lifts the empty glass to the pixelated mouth that winks at Borad, who stifles a deep rumbling chuckle. Borad leans back. All right then, let's get to it. Tarumba, the details, please. A tiny slug-like alien with no face, but in a similarly sleek suit, slithers towards Borad holding a grey screen. Borad reaches down and places him on the table.
Yes, thank you, sir. Rather, it comes to our attention that the Federation is concerned with some of my master's legitimate practices.
Sato stares intensely at Tarumba while Greg is on at least his 8th drink. K11 taps him on the shoulder as Greg looks. As Greg looks, the word listening ears trails across his face screen.
It also seems to follow a justice message to my employer, and by that the Hercules of tangent fast was helpful for you.
I need you to take some stuff from here. He points in a clawed finger at the table to there. Borad points towards a sign on one of the many muted viewing screens around the establishment where a news segment plays out, depicting riots and creatures chasing people in the middle of a dense city.
To Vorgel 6, we'll get eaten.
And what means of excuse me? What means of transport do you suggest we take? The tilt isn't even outfitted for combat protocols.
I think you were mistaken, son.
Borad chuckles again. See, Kay wasn't the only thing that dear old Dad won from me back then.
Indeed, the axial tilt is in fact more than capable of prevailing against most low to medium threats, with heaven and hell turbo cannons mounted to the top and bottom of the ship that release.
No. I've seen no such buttons on the flight console.
You don't even know what half those buttons do. K flies a ship. You just wear down the lever on the chairs.
Rude.
When you're quite finished, everything you need to know is on this straight screen.
He hands it over to Sato.
To traverse, your new cargo is being hauled into the cargo bay.
Why to Vorgel 6? Sorry, Vorugel 6. The planet is infested with skirkmores. Skirkmores, please.
Well, you'll find out on your arrival. The matter is non-negotiable. Reneging on your pappy's debt comes with dire consequences. My man will meet you in orbit there. Sato leans back in the chair with a deep exhalation and goes to hand Greg the spray screen, who has fainted in his. Interior, Astron Facility Docking Bay. Greg, Sato, and K11 walk out of the transport tube, which melts closed behind them. They walk through the still busy Concorde. Sato, reading the information on their newly acquired spray screen, and Greg breathing with a slight wheeze, looking incredibly pale. Suddenly, Greg bumps into something and falls to the floor. He looks up and sees before him a tall, beautiful woman with light blue skin and long indigo hair on the ground too.
Is this me as well?
Yep.
Yep. Ouch.
She rubs her head.
Might be a tongue being, but that still hurt.
Oh my gosh, you hurt?
Greg stands up with the speed of a man many pounds lighter and offers his hand out to her. She takes it and stands nearly a full 2 feet taller than him. What looks like stars dazzle in Greg's eyes.
Absolutely my fault. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Were you in a rush?
Yes, we're about to smuggle.
Ourselves back aboard our ship and take our cargo to Vogel Sea.
Sato's face drains of colour and he stares at Greg.
5.
Verugal 6. Why in the universe would you want to go there?
Sato realises something and cocks his head as he connects the dots.
That's where I'm from.
I am so sorry. Do you have any family there?
Philo begins to cry and Greg seems to panic at first and then without thinking blurts out,
We can look for them if you want.
Greg.
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 1, 2,
We're not very good
three.
at
Greg.
that. 1, 2, 3.
Greg.
Nice.
You'd do that for me? Even though we just met?
I mean, some people do say I'm a pretty neat guy.
Who?
People!
Thank you so much. If you want, I could come with you. I've been meaning to trail back and now seems fortuitous.
Yes, fortuitous. Fortuitous, sorry, as how that says.
Thanks.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I was so
I know,
confused.
yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Fortuitous. Happening by chance rather than intention.
Craig, what are you doing?
You said we need more hands on deck? I mean...
As they converse, there is a sudden burst of noise as a whole battalion of armed people in uniforms push their way into the concourse, shouting as they do. Some people run in panic, others fall off their chairs and cower, and some just keep on working. The whole space falls into a chaotic uproar.
Great, I'll get my things.
Suddenly.
Nice. Well done, mate.
Nice.
Well done. Interesting, intriguing.
Set up. Enjoying that.
It's a intriguing sort of like classic sci-fi affair. I'm really into it. And we've got our like classic ensemble on the ship now. Although after Burgess' performance of Little Slug Guy, I kind of wish Little Slug Guy came along. Yeah, just
15 pages of Tarumba, surely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That was my shit.
Find an excuse for Tarumba.
So it went in my mind when I was putting all this together. I did the whole world building thing, and the race, the slug people, they are like, think of like goblins in Harry Potter. They're everywhere.
Right, yeah.
So they're more like kind of like law / me, that kind of position.
And they've all got lisps.
Now,
Yeah. But we need him to come. He needs to be like, I reckon Philo falls off the ship and she gets replaced with Little Slug Guy because I love Little Slug Guy. Why did we think it was Sato? Why do we think it was... Isn't there a Sato in something else?
yes, in the Karate Kid.
Is that what it is it? I thought Sato was like isn't he the assistant in like...
Kato.
Kato, that's who I'm thinking of. Kato, thank you very much for that. Yeah, I literally was going to say
too. It's Miyagi's like childhood friend who like is out to get him.
Right. Because we all watch Karate Kid too.
It was great, Luke. Really enjoyed it.
Really fun.
And, yeah, good world building. It's good setting.
Yeah.
I think like we'll all definitely have fun.
Yeah, 100%. And it works.
script in
It
this.
works really well for our like 15-page thing as well because it's like something that is like sprawling. It's not necessarily with, as you said yourself, as something that needs that much like context and world building behind it. It'd be really difficult to sort of like have a finished, cohesive story as an episode 1, as well as introduce all these concepts. So it's kind of like good that it's like 15 pages of what they get up to, and then in the periphery you get to meet all these grey screens. You get to know like all about like the melting doors and all this stuff. You get to like sort of like see all that in the periphery. And then we can sort of like play with it.
100%. And what I do actually kind of like about, what I do very much like about the 15-page limit is you're not overly burdened to create too much in the world building.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wanted to set the scene there, but I mean, you don't have to write page. If you did a 30-page script, then the amount of exposition that you'd have to do in a made-up sci-fi setting is probably quite enormous, really. So 15 pages work really nicely.
Yeah.
You all did a lovely job. It's funny though, because I think people will get better at, like, people will, once in previous editions we've all been into the characters, we've been reading like the Debonair and all these characters for so long, you find it very easy to slip into the roles. Whereas when it's completely new, everyone's kind of trying to sort of find the feet with people, and then eventually it's like but Sudden Leap, check it out. But Sudden Leap, it wasn't.
You just plugged this show on this show.
Smash the bell.
It wasn't until quite a way in that Adrian and what was the other guy called? Adrian and
James.
But you guys found their kind of like the cadence of their voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'll be quite interesting.
I did think that realistically, because like the thing is that it's such a big decision when you first decide on a voice. It's such a big decision because you have to stick with it for so long that you kind of like scared. So I was like, okay, I know there's a character called Greg on the spaceship, and then we've got a K11 and a Sato. I was thinking I'd be straight man, but knowing that I'm like the butt of like dumb jokes now, I might like change his voice. I might just go like a little bit silly with him. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. When I was writing the parts, K11 and K11. It could have been either Adam or Phil, because I like Phil. I very much, obviously, it's like Phil's main voice that he's known for. His kind of British voices. But Adam's done one again. What was he called? The elderly gentleman. What was he called?
He's not Basingstoke.
Cyril.
Yeah,
Cyril.
Yeah.
Cyril. So I really liked Adam Cyril, and I thought I could channel some of these Cyril in there somewhere.
I did. I'll be honest with you. I did secretly earlier today really hoped I was cast as a robot. I was literally like, oh god, I wish I could do a robot. But I am equally grateful to be Greg, because idiot characters are my bag. Doesn't take much from me.
He's not an idiot.
No, he has like I noticed that he's got a what I feel about Greg is that he's inherited this ship. He's inherited this lifestyle, but there's another lifestyle out there that he would excel at, because he knows all about these like strange ancient artifacts and weird artifacts and stuff.
I'm really glad. Yeah, that's he knows about things. He's basically could have been any one of us. He's a massive nerd.
Yeah,
that's in his 40s that still is a bit childish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of.
But the quality jam still hurt.
No common sense. Yeah.
I don't know how. He's different characters. Not even me, but they hurt me here. Still, I don't know why. I empathise with my characters.
For a while, Greg was Burge and Adam. Greg was Burge.
Wow.
And then Greg was Adam, and there was a lot of flip flopping at who'd do what.
But then you have to describe the mutton chops, and it's a whole thing.
It didn't feel like a mutton chop.
Yeah, it did.
And Phil, I was just desperate to break out my orc voice.
Yeah, that's
yeah. There was like I did think that to a certain extent, because he got more build up than most of our characters. Like, we're going to vision Borad the Crane. I'm surprised that people didn't chant Borad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool.
He's kind of like a crime, like a crime lord of some sort, of some description. I'm not going into that too much. On the station, one of possibly many, because I don't know if I got it across, but the station is fucking enormous. It's ridiculous in size, and it orbits round the planet, which I didn't name because I didn't think it was important. And it's a planet cracking facility, which I got from Dead Space.
Nice. The thing is, the one thing I'm really looking forward, if my name does come up in the spinner, I'm really looking forward to write it. But then there's also an element of me like, oh my god, I have to learn all about this now. It's like studying to a certain extent. I'm like, what cracking company? Like, I'll literally have to have the script open and it's like, what's the name of the cracking company? What's the name of the planet again? What's the name of that race? What's the name of that race? Yeah, it's funny.
It's like a bottle episode.
Yeah. 100%.
Lots in the cargo hold. Yeah.
Happy House Mining Corps.
Okay, can I just just like Luke Williams. I know, like you're a man with an opinion, right? And in all fairness, this is your season, so I feel like it's only fair. Like we have always said this can go anywhere. But at the start of each of our seasons, I feel like we've dictated a few rules to a certain extent. I was like, oh, but suddenly let's not jump away from that. Let's make it like a serialized show. And then, like, you know, we had Phil's like pitch thing where we had pitch things. Like, we are doing 15 minutes increments now. Like, there is the possibility of someone like going next and like fucking like waking up from a dream. And no one will ever do that, and I don't think we'll ever do that. Like, how?
Won't they?
I'm looking at Phil because he kills characters, but
Greg, go on.
what?
right.
Give us the yeah, I know, yeah, slug characters.
Potato
All that's left. Give us the confines in which you want us to write, essentially. And I'm not saying that that's like. I'm not like trying to like say like, oh, Luke will get mad or whatever. I want you to do it. I want us to write a thing that doesn't dismay your original pitch.
I want us to write something I want us to write a little movie together.
Okay.
I want us to write something that has a beginning, a middle, and an end that follows some form of formula that we've not done before. Yeah, go wild because it's space and it's sci-fi. Make up all the shit that you want, but write a story.
Yeah,
Don't just go like, and then they went through time.
So time is off the table, is what you're saying.
Like, and they could be ninja samurai because I don't know, but they just write a story with me. Let's write a story.
Okay. Keep it true to this, essentially, isn't it? You're like, don't your law is not allowed us to do time travel bullshit. That's what you're telling me, and I'm fine with that.
I think
I'm fine with that.
No time travel.
Okay, cool. I'm good for that.
How are we supposed to? That's fine.
I mean, so I assume that
isn't it?
planets are all close together.
When you've first spoken, when we first spoken about doing the 15-page concept, it was like a standalone thing, wasn't it? Whereas this is kind of Luke's saga, so to speak, isn't it? So
yeah,
I want to try and stay respectful to that, I guess.
That's exactly what I was getting at. Essentially, I just didn't want to like the 15-page thing that originally we'd established as it.
Which I guess we can move on to that after Luke's.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily
have it a bit more loosey goosey, but
yeah.
I think this is a good way of practicing the 15-page kind of hopefully week by week type thing, but while still using the framework that Luke's set up for us and the characters and whatnot.
Yeah, and then so Burge's character at the end there and my character are totally having sex, so I'm really looking forward to write that scene.
with that in mind,
Instantly feel the tension.
Yeah,
it's great.
Can we get some spinners on?
Palpable already. Oh yeah, let's get some spinners on. Absolutely.
I guess the issue is like if someone else gets to write it, like if me or you don't get to write it.
Yeah, that's worse.
Much worse.
15 pages ends in like us like on the verge of kissing, and then the next person's like, "Oh, this is just 15 pages of sci-fi porn, essentially." Right, Luke Williams, give me a sound. Nice sound, excellent. You guys can't see this now, so it's all like trust, but it is on record. You'll see it eventually. We have 4 names. Yes, Yolo, Burge, Adam, and Phil. Luke, you're out of the running this time, but
we also need 2 additional spinners for the interims.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I'll just keep spinning.
3 spinners at the same time.
Do you want me to do that? I can easily do
Spin
that.
our faces around as well.
Why have you not done that? Why is that not what happens?
I'm sorry. I will. Okay, so we need one. Spinner 1 is for the next writing. Spinner 2 is for who is writing the intro. Spinner 3 is who's reading the intro. Okay,
Yeah.
3 spinners.
So what's the deal with the intros? Are we exempt?
Surely.
And is Yolo exempt for writing the intro?
Yeah, I'm in for that.
A lot of rules for a 5 minute spinning.
I love rules.
Right, rules are set. So first spinner has Adam,
set.
Burge, Yola, Phil. Second spinner has Luke, Adam, Burge, Phil. And the third spinner has Adam, Burge, Yola, Luke. Yes?
Marvelous.
Yes.
Something.
Okay, cool. Right, first spinner is being spun as we speak. It's ticking away. It's going. This is the person who's writing the next one. It is Adam. Adam, you are next on the writing. Next up, second spinner. Oh, I'm going to review. Second spinner.
So we had him.
Adam.
Yeah, obviously. Actually, I didn't consider that.
Oh yes.
It's not. It's not. Oh, okay. Phil, you are writing the intro,
It's good. That's good. I like Ryan for
and then who's reading the intro is.
So you
feel
feel
like-
like my name. Then. I like Red.
I was about to say that. I'm obviously
Willfully putting me in the plane.
Yeah, you're in there. It's happening. I've already
Burge.
preordained it. Oh, I like Ryan Fraddenberg.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Do you think it's inherently achievable to maybe get something in a week, or do you want a bit more? We'll just see where we get to, I suppose.
So we go. I think should be good.
Yeah, I feel like if we don't necessarily stick to like the stringent like Thursday day, then if you get like you just tell us when you're ready essentially, and we'll just sort of like figure out, like we did with this one, figure out when we're available. Cool. Right. So I guess that's it. I'm looking forward to next week. Bye, everyone.
Sounds good. Nicely done, Luke. Nicely played, sir.
Yeah, good job, mate.
Well done.
Bye.
Bye.